What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast. And tonight, we have a real special guest in the building tonight. We have the winner of Who is German's Top Sound Killer Sound Clash in the building. We're talking about Andy from the GLOCKWORK Posse in the building tonight. What's going on, big boss?
Salute, Muscle. Thanks for having us. It's a pleasure to be on the show. Doing good around here, just hanging in there, situation kind of crazy still, but we're all right.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for joining us tonight on the show. Also, I know you guys are representing way from Germany, and we're here in Toronto.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How is the vibe in Germany right now? Are you guys in lockdown, or what's the situation out there right now?
We still have this thing, social distancing and not get close to each other, but shops are opening up again in small steps. So we back to normal life, but never reach yet in full effect,
Okay, so it's still a bit of a quarantine, but you guys are opening up a bit right now.
Exactly.
When did you guys start to open back?
Like for the last 2 weeks, the first small shops were allowed to open up again, and this week the bigger shops them allowed to.
Perfect. All right, that's good. All right, let's get into the big song here from Germany. We're talking about GLOCKWORK Posse. All right.
Mm-hmm.
How long has the song been around now?
Clockwork was founded back in 2009, so 11 years now.
11 years now. Wow. And how did you guys come up with that name, and what made you guys actually form the sound?
I was going out in Rotown from like 2004, 2005, something.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a selector who doing the warm-up juggling and the after-show juggling, and most of the time he was just fucking up the place and outclassing the guest sound.
Okay.
And after a couple of times, we got to know each other, we talked to each other and thing. And like one night in the morning after a dance, vibes are up. I was just talking to him and said, yo, why you never take this game further? Why not form a sound and bring this thing I wrote? Because you're bad. And he said, yo, I'm just like an MC. There's nobody around.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like so hyped after the dance, and I was telling him, yo, from tomorrow on, I'm going to be your fucking MC.
Yeah, okay.
That was actually the moment where the sound was founded, so that this was no plan or something. By that time, it was just an idea in the early morning.
Okay, and did you actually MC a sound before, or that was just an idea? Never.
I was always a big fan I started with reggae music by the age of like 17 or 18, so back in 99, 2000.
Okay.
And from then I started to travel for parties and concerts all over Europe and even outside of Europe. And that's where I fell in love with the whole culture and thing. And Soundclash was a big deal that time in Germany as well. And we went to every Soundclash, and I was always hyped for the thing. But long time I didn't think about doing my own sound. But when I saw the occasion with this Bud Selector, and I was like, yo, let's try it. Let's do it.
Yeah, just like that. Wow. And who were some of the MCs that actually influenced you back then?
I would say that the MCs at that time that I was looking up to was Squingy, Lee Majors from Earth Ruler.
Okay.
I was always a big fan of Pretty Rick, rest in peace, Tech Nine family.
Yes.
So it always depends of the era from which sound we're talking about, but I would say these are some MCs that I enjoy listening to a lot.
Yeah, no, definitely. Wow. And I guess back then, this is probably like pre-09, so this is probably like 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and going up like that. All right. And it was a lot of sound clash and stuff you were listening to, or more or less juggling?
Until 2004, I was only going out to parties and concerts and artist live shows.
Mm-hmm.
In 2004, I went to the first sound clash in Germany, in Munich. This was my first clash, to a rhythm clash, a big clash, pulling like between 1,000 and 2,000 people, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And this was Supersonic against LP, against Freddie and Trooper. And Freddie and Trooper never played Jaro, they played both their own sound.
Okay, that night there.
Yeah, it was a wicked clash, and this was kind of the night where I fell in love with Sound Clash and wanted to know everything about the art form and about the culture behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know, because I know rhythm clashes generally, from what I know, it's one of the biggest clashes in Europe whenever they keep rhythm clash. I don't know if they still do it, but that was one of the
No,
biggest ones.
the last rhythm clash, I guess, was 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like this. So a
Yeah.
long time ago, I'm stopping. Right now, the biggest clash in Europe, I would clearly say, is Warner East. Big up Sultan and the whole family.
Okay. Yes. That's a big one too. War in the East. It was War in the East rhythm clash. A lot of big ones that they had out there. All right. And with the dancehall reggae scene in Germany, when it goes back now, who were some of the big sounds in Germany that you were actually listening to back then also?
Okay, back then, I would say the sound where I was listening the most was clearly Supersonic. That was my sound in Germany, and maybe still is, I would say.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, you had 2005 was Sentinel World Clash title. This was a huge thing for all of us. We were celebrating outside of the club when we heard the message, and it was crazy. It was like winning world championship in soccer, in football, you know. Yeah, so it was really a big deal for us. Of course, Sentinel is always to mention. And I would say party-wise, juggling-wise, the sound where I grew up with and was listening that time the most was maybe Pow Pow.
Yes, big sound. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
Yeah, Pow Pow, I think, is
Foundation.
probably found exactly. They're the foundation sound of it. I think they were actually in World Clash 1 year. They were 1 or 2 years. They might have been in World Clash also.
I'm not sure. I know they clashed against Kilimanjaro in Germany. I'm not sure about World Clash though.
Yeah. Wow.
They clashed. Yeah, they clashed in World Clash.
Yeah, they were there. They were in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, I never remember that.
Yeah. All right, let's get into Glockwork Posse now. Okay, so then you said in 2009 you guys actually started the sound now, okay? And what were some of the earlier dates or some of the earlier events you guys started off doing?
Well, like I said, I was going to these parties in Rotown, the place where the sound is founded and still based in. So this was the place where we kept on juggling. Like my selector was booked there for the warm-up and after-show juggling every month. So that's where we just could test out the sound every month. So this was a perfect start. And this shout out to Marx and the whole Righteous Riders family. Them keep the party, them make it possible. Them give us the early stage that we needed to practice.
Yeah.
And yeah, we wouldn't reach there without them.
Yeah. All right. And when did you guys actually start to travel outside of the area and start to play?
I would say we put out a mixtape series from 2010 on. So we dropped it at the 1st January of 2011. It was called Dancehall Circus, and it was kind of musical review of the past year.
Okay.
And we put that out from 2010 and until 2015. But like the first 2 or 3 episodes, they really pushed out our name.
Yeah.
Because this was like a mixtape way not here on a regular base, nothing like just 90 minutes of juggling and done. This was a storytelling, all kind of skits and singers. Some people said they got reminded by the early Black Chiney tapes.
I knew. I was just waiting for you to say that. I know that because I know you guys do a lot of remixes and stuff.
Yeah, we do that too. Yeah, man.
And would you say that's one of you guys' actual signature there?
Not when we founded the sound, not from the early crew, but like 2 or 2.5 years ago now. Haggy Royal joined the sound, and he's producing and he's doing remixes on a professional level. So from he's joined the sound, this game was like boosting again. We didn't kind of do it on purpose before, but he brought that craft into the sound, into the whole crew. Yeah, man.
And that's directly a standout point for Glockwork Posse.
Of course, yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay. And even your name, you have a wicked tough name, Glockwork Posse. All right.
Yeah.
How did you even come up with that name?
Yeah. So after that night where we said, all right, let's do this, we were linking up like a couple of days later. We were sitting down and reasoning about the sound, and we didn't really talk much at that time. So we were just sitting there and everybody was in his mind. And then we ended up talking about Clockwork. Not actually Clockwork, but Clockwork.
Yeah. Okay.
And we like the metaphors to like, it's unstoppable, it's always taking ever forward progress. And yeah, this was kind of the image that we liked about the name. And then somebody out of nowhere said, yo, but if you want Clash, you can't name it Clockwork, you have to name it Clockwork. And yeah, that's just how it started.
Yeah, no, that name right there is just tough. And then how did you end up putting on the posse also?
By that time when we started the sound, we didn't really plan, or we were not having a sound system. So we never want to name it just Clockwork Sound, because we didn't own no sound. And
Got you.
Clockwork was always a small team on stage, only a couple people working on stage, but there are a whole heap around the sound, always working for the sound, but never get the show light. So it was not only a crew, it was a posse from the first day. So that's where we ended up with the name.
Yeah, GLOCKWORK Posse. Yeah, you definitely have to thank the person that said, nah, man, not clock. Glock.
Exactly, yeah, man. I'm still good. I'm still around the sound, yeah, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because he said when you're going to get into clashes and stuff, you want to be Glockwork. Let's talk about some of your early clashes. What were some of the earlier clashes Glockwork was actually in?
The first clash we did was back in 2012 when we were 3 years in other business. We were clashing a sound from Austria in a them turf.
Okay.
This was by a time when I just came back from Kingston. I was living there for a couple of months, and I did a whole heap of dub work when I was there, and I came back and got the offer, and I was just we don't have really enough dubs to clash now, but we got so much new stuff. I just want to try it out.
Yeah.
Like I want to just check out the thing and know if people them endorse what we are doing, if the reception is good, and yeah, what's still missing to make experiences. Yeah, this was kind of the first shot we gave it on the battlefield.
Yeah. And what was the sound that you guys were clashing?
The sound, Irish sound from Vienna.
Irish sound from Vienna.
Yeah.
Okay.
By that time, they were representing STP, is a different place, but now they moved to Vienna, as far as I know.
Got you. Okay. And you said that you were actually in Jamaica for a while before that, and you wanted to bring home some of the stuff to Germany and test it out. Was that actually your first time going to Jamaica, or you'd been to Jamaica a couple times before that?
The first time Jamaica was 2006, but this was like when I was done with college and I was starting to reggae music. Not starting, but it was just I was listening to reggae music for 6 years at the time. But yeah, it was still not the main topic of my life like it is now, for example. So, but I said, yeah, I spent so much time with this music. I love the culture. I want to go there. So yeah, 2006 was the first time, but first time as a soundman was 2012.
With 2012. Okay, I want to talk about 2006, what happened then, and then we're going to jump to 2012. What was it like the first time you actually got to Jamaica? They opened the door and say, hey, welcome to Jamaica. What was that feeling? What was the vibe? What did you expect? And what was it really like?
So I went with two friends, and both of them have been to Jamaica before. And they told me about one nice spot in the south in Treasure Beach. And they said, yo, last time they've been there and it was so nice, they want to go there again. And I was just like, yo, whatever. I never been there. If you say it's nice, let's go. I'm down for it. And we've been there for, the whole trip was designed for 2.5 weeks. And then we went to Treasure Beach. And I mean, you've been there, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, the Treasure Beach is in like there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing. I mean, it's chill, it's nice, it's nice to spend a Sunday or a day off, but beside that, there's literally nothing. So I was like, yo, and that you want to do for 2.5 weeks? And said, yeah, man, why not? It's nice around here. And I was like, all right. So, but yeah, I didn't want to go on my own that time, so I was like staying with them. Then, yeah, we ended up staying only in Treasure Beach for 2.5 weeks, and I did see nothing but the ride from Montego Bay to Treasure Beach. I did see everything, every stone in a Treasure Beach, and the way back to the airport. That was my Jamaica 2006. So literally, I've seen nothing of the country. Not not what's outstanding for Jamaica and the culture and the thing. But I still love Treasure Beach, and every time I go to Jamaica, I make sure I visit Treasure Beach.
Of course, but it's like it was just that place that you wanted to see what else was going on. So then now, 6 years later, you went back as a soundman. You had just built your sound 3 years before that. So then what was it like now going back as a soundman and going to the dub studio the first time? And who were some of the artists that you actually cut back then?
So the main reason why I got there was because one of my good friends, Carl Munchi from Reggae, I'm sure you heard about her already.
Yep.
She was going for 1 year that time to stay 1 year in Kingston and work for the Head Jamaica Education Center.
Okay.
And that time I was self-employed, and I'm doing websites and online shops and things, so I was free to go. I could work from Kingston same way.
Yeah.
And I say, all right, I'm just gonna join you. So we rent a flat in Kingston together and spent a couple of months down there.
Wow. And then you started going studio and stuff.
Yeah, that was my only purpose. Of course, I wanted to see more of Jamaica than the first time.
Yeah.
But basically in that 3 months, I went 1 weekend to Portland and 1 weekend to Treasure Beach, and the rest of the time I was only in Kingston. I did do nothing else. So again, I see in Portland. Portland was really important for me to see because Portland is my place, man. I love Portland.
Okay.
So I'm really happy I did that time. But beside that, Kingston was just so fascinating for me, and the musical input I got. It was a musical builderage for me, man. I learned the music and the culture where I think I was studying for 12 years already, and I know a couple of things about it. I was learning it completely again.
Yeah,
definitely. A whole different thing.
The nightlife and breathing it in and seeing the artists in front of you and seeing the selectors play, and everything is just real.
Exactly, and you're hearing about places and songs so much, and then you're standing there and you know what they're singing about. It's so important.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so then what was it like the first time you went to the studio, and who were some of the artists that you actually had to go voice?
I just tried to remember who actually we did a voice first that time. I guess this was actually in Portland because I was doing an early trip outside of Kingston that time to visit one of my friends from Germany who was there in Portland, and he linked me up with Junior Mervyn and Louis Culture.
Okay.
So they both live in Port Antonio, or lived in Port Antonio, and I got the occasion to meet them both at the time and ask them if we can do a studio session, and we jumped in a car and let's go.
Yeah. And just like that. And did you know what to expect when you went to Jamaica and cut dubs? Did you think it was going to be that price? It was a better experience? What did you expect, and what was it really like?
Well, my expectation was to go there, meet artists, find a reasonable price, promote the price in Europe, get a whole heap of dub work, and try to hustle my thing for myself.
Got you.
That was the plan behind the whole trip. And it did work out quite good, I would say. Not every time, but quite good still.
Yeah. Okay, so it's just you connect with artists, and that's how you basically run the dub program in Germany or even Europe, certain parts in Europe.
By that time, I did that. Yeah, I'm not doing this on a regular basis. I'm not doing this now when I'm here in Germany. When I'm in Jamaica and I'm doing some couple of sessions, then I promote it. Yeah.
Got it from there. All right. Before we get to Quarantine Clash, which is happening tomorrow, the big Quarantine Clash, I want to get into a clash that you were in before that you actually won last year, which is who was a German top sound killer sound clash. All right. Tell us about that clash here. Who was in that clash and how did you end up winning that big trophy?
That clash was organized by Tommy Dalla from City Lock and Rifle Sound. And they always wanted to put up a kind of clash between upcoming sounds from all over Germany. And I was talking to Tommy about this idea for like 2 years, and last year he finally made it happen. And sounds involved were Royal Blood Sound, is a veteran sound from the south of Germany. But clash-wise, it was his first clash, I guess. So he never really was clashing before, and he was just trying a thing. Then we had Melting Pot. I think it was their first clash as well. But they're doing some nice parties, and we're around for a couple of times. And kind of hungry too. Then we had Keep It Real Crew. Yeah, man, Keep It Real Crew from Stuttgart.
Yeah.
They promote a big festival in Germany, a big promoter,
Okay.
nice guys. And actually, we actually clashed them before and bucked up again at Who's the German Top Killer. And then there is Sound Valley. Big up Mike.
Yes.
Sound Valley is like, I would say, one of the most ambitious sounds right now out of Germany.
Okay.
Beside us, maybe.
Sound Valley. Why you say that?
No, man, we're good friends, we're good links. But you see, Clockwork and Sound Valley could actually be kind of a good rivalry coming up in Germany because we are hungry, want to push us to a next level. Yeah, man, would be a nice thing.
And in that clash here, who did it come to? Who was in the dub for dub, or was there even a dub for dub?
It was not designed for dub for dub. It was 4 rounds.
Yeah.
First round, nobody drop out. Second round, 1 drop out. Third round, make 2 sound drop out, and the last 2 sounds just played a regular 10 minutes round. No dub for dub, just a regular 10-minute round.
Just a regular 10-minute round, and you guys won that round there.
Exactly, we won it against Sound Valley, so we and him end up in the finals.
Okay, so then now I see what you mean. So then right now that would be you guys need to clash 1-on-1 right now. Any plans for that?
No promoter called me yet about that, but enough people asking for it. Yeah,
I hear you. What's the dancehall scene right now in Germany?
I would say in Germany, and actually I guess all over Europe, at least that's my impression when I get talk to different people. Is that the whole scene is kind of struggling.
Okay.
But you still have some places where we're keeping it up, where now let go. And here in Munich, where we run our regular dance, it's kept every Friday, so over 50 times a year, and we pull out like, I would say at least 250 to 300 people every week.
Okay.
And if you keep a couple events and book artists or well-known sounds, you even get up to 500 and more. We have an indoor festival once a year together with Reggaeville, pulls like 1 to 1,500 people. So I would say, we kind of hold it, and it not look too bad, but it's way less than we had during the peak times in like the 2000 until 2010.
What do you think really changed? Why the shift with the attitude towards the music, or what was it that really changed?
I would say 2 reasons. Reggae and dancehall just moved. They're not strongly connected like they were before, the 2 styles. They moved kind of because dancehall is not really dancehall like we used to know dancehall in the 90s. It evolved. But reggae to me is at least rhythm-wise kind of keeping its style, and it's not changing that much. So the people that morally endorse reggae would not come out to a dance no more because they don't like the dancehall style. So I guess this is a reason why you still have the same massive, but they split up into different kind of events. And a next thing is the reception and how you listen to music. This has totally changed for the younger generation. They're not used to cassette or mixtapes anymore. They're not used to search for music and really know what you're searching for. What's the rhythm name? Which artist they're upon? Which label? Which different cuts they're upon one rhythm? And all this kind of stuff. They don't care anymore. They just open Spotify and press play.
Yeah. You're right, and whatever pops up, and we'll figure it out from there, type of thing.
Exactly. If I like it, next song. If you like it, all right, let's go.
It's so great because you're not actually investing in anything. Where you're not actually buying music, you're just buying a subscription for a month, and you have access to whatever you want to listen to.
Exactly.
And that's really crazy.
You just click one playlist and you get a million recommendations what else to listen. So there's no reason to search for anything.
Yeah, that's true. I know, because I know you guys do promotions also, because I think you guys had Popcorn coming up and it was canceled, or you guys were just playing on it?
No, we were never involved in a Popcorn show.
Yeah, okay. I'd swear you guys had it was some I seen a couple of canceled date with you guys, because clearly we know what's going on.
I know. I know what you mean. Yeah, this was a dance supposed to keep in Switzerland by the end of March, but it was canceled due to the Corona thing. But Popcorn just there upon the flyer. He never supposed to perform. Yeah. But he's there upon the flyer. You're right.
Yeah, got you. All right, let's talk about the big clash coming up tomorrow, the online clash. We're talking about quarantine clash tomorrow, the competition. All right. You guys are now the second heat. The first heat happened last week. This week is the second heat here. Tomorrow, you guys are versus the big, bad, notorious, the 2019 Boom Clash winners, all right? So they're coming in with a title. You're coming in with a title. What could we expect from 2 songs with titles Tomorrow?
Well, I honestly don't know what to expect from Notorious for the clash tomorrow. The only thing I heard is that Shabba won't be there. I don't know if it's that true, but so if Shabba isn't performing, then I really don't know what to expect from Notorious, but because he's kind of the face from Notorious and he was responsible for all those clashes they played.
Okay.
So yeah, this is gonna be quite a surprise. I mean, I know Notorious from 2012. By that time, I was living in Kingston. I was going to the Notorious dances every Wednesday down at Maxfield. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And even the one brother where I used to cut dubs with that time was a good link from Shabba. So we even did par some time in the day and just hold a vibe and thing. So yeah, we know them a couple of times. And by that time, they were already performing really bad. I always enjoyed listening to them.
Yeah.
And for like 2 years ago, when them step into the battlefield, they did not much wrong. They kind of bust the place. So yeah. But when we go into a clash, no matter if a Sunday Quarantine clash or any other clash, we just want to do our thing. Yeah. We just want to present our best to the people, show them what we did over the last 11 years, what we are building and what we are. Yeah. And then it's up to people to decide, especially if an online vote.
Yeah. Especially with online now, because is this your first time clashing online?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then it's gonna be quite interesting to get used to everything at the same time, because I know usually you work with the energy of the crowd, but now the crowd,
exactly,
their comments, you understand, and emojis. That's now the crowd. Yeah.
Exactly, and it's not really easy to watch the chat and read the chat while you're performing. This kind of make no sense. So I don't bother. That's why I said we just want to do our style. Of course, you don't get the energy of the people, so you don't know really if you're doing right or wrong. But so it go. Not only we face this problem, everybody in this tournament. Yeah. So yeah.
That's true. And is there any pressure on your side, because you guys know you guys are performing on Major Laser's platform, because you know that's a huge, gigantic, monstrous platform?
Exactly, and we're very thankful for being part of the whole project and the whole works, but I don't feel really pressure, because to me, I think we might be the most unknown song in the whole tournament. Okay. If you put it on a worldwide scale, because this thing is worldwide. And especially against Notorious, who, like, for the last 2 or 3 years, almost everybody who's listening to Soundclash knows about Notorious. So yeah, I think we have nothing to lose, and even if there are thousands of people watching us, this is not real pressure for us, I guess. I mean, this is what we did work for 11 years, so make it happen, man.
For sure, you know what I mean? And have you been following the series before actually getting into it tomorrow? Were you watching previous?
Yeah, man, every single one.
All right. So what was it like when you got the call and they said, hey, we want you in the tournament? It's now you went from a spectator to now a participant. What was that like?
Yeah, it's an honor to be called in one league with all those songs performing. I mean, you have Clockwork in this clash who was performing on a world clash. I mean, this is far away from what we did so far. So yeah, it's an honor for us to be part of it and get the chance to perform.
Yeah. No, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to actually see you on the battlefield tomorrow. Quarantine Clash competition continues with Glock versus Notorious. It's going to be crazy. Listen, before I get you out of here, leave some contacts where they could check you guys out and see everything that Glockwork Posse has up.
Yeah, man, just check out everything on social media. We're up on every channel. It's /Glockwork Posse. It's @Glockwork Posse, always one word. You'll find everything. SoundCloud for mixtapes and live recordings, and Facebook and Instagram for the regular things. Yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely.
But beside that, we just hold it out until this whole Corona thing is done, and then we can finally go back to work in a club every weekend.
Yeah. And I guess that's one of the first things you're looking forward to, is actually going back to your weeklies and taking some more tour dates and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, for sure. And I really miss the energy of all those people. And yeah.
Yeah. And what have you been doing in the meantime to actually, I guess, stay in this digital era? Have you been doing shows? What have you been doing, if anything, at all?
Like we did much less, because with all this kind of social distancing, we're not allowed to meet each other for a couple of weeks, and like working over the internet with video conference and thing, it's possible, but it not really brings that vibe. Instead of flexing together in a studio and get into some rhythms and listen to it together and Yeah, you know what I mean. It's a different thing when you do it online. So we did a couple of stuff. We did 1 or 2 remixes. We were building on 1 or 2 mixtapes in the lab, but they're not really released yet. So might think after the competition to finish them up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're working on a couple of projects that we want to do when this thing is done, but you cannot really plan on it now because we have no time frame to work with. So it's just ideas.
Makes sense. Andy, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so very much again. As I said, I can't wait to see you on the battlefield tomorrow versus Notorious, and hopefully you'll pass there, and we'll see you at the end, and we could come together again and do a championship interview. All right?
Hope so. Yeah, man.
See you on the battlefield tomorrow.
Thanks for having. Yeah, man.
No problem. No problem at all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out. This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinemusichut.com.